Well, here we are, friends. We're on number 6 now of the fairies here. Where have we got to? Oh, that's it. Thank you. Does it say anything at all about the old factory site? Yes, it does. Large site for sale. What will become of this land? Thank you, Orny. Very well read. Yes, said his brother, slapping him on the back. I'm proud of you, brother. Very proud. Now, Timmy, may you please fold the paper in such a way that it is open on the page Orny just read, and then put it in the kitchen for now, so it's safe and it does not blow away. Yes, of course. As Timmy was returning to the garden out of the cat flap, he heard Mighty Oak start to talk. My dear friends, thank you all for coming. I just want to tell you I am working on something at the moment, that if it works to plan, the fair will not return to our lovely park. Everyone cheered except the rats and a couple of foxes. Now, I will add that if it does go to plan, then you rats and foxes will be happy too. Listen, rats, foxes, all I ask is that you trust me. Will you do that? The animals all talked amongst themselves. It was true. The mighty tree had never let them down before. We trust you, Mighty Oak, they all said in unison. Then the badger added, I cannot see how you can pull this off, Mighty Oak. I really don't. But no doubt you will. At the same time, the meeting was coming to a close. The Major was just arriving in Blackpool. He had been here before, and he knew right where his first port of call would be, the Cod and Cockle fish and chip shop. As far as the Major was concerned, they were the very best fish and chips in the whole of England, although he did remember having a delicious piece of haddock from a fish and chip shop in Scarborough. He flew straight there. It was closed. He had flown all that way, and the shop owner had the temerity to not open. Then the Major realized it was his mistake. Of course it was Sunday. Oh, his poor tummy did rumble. He was jolly hungry. How can I possibly sleep now? The Major realized that he would just have to scavenge, see if there was any rich pickings in anyone's bins. He did not have to fly very far when he spotted a bin where someone had kindly not put the lid on properly. Oh yes, this was a very good bin indeed. There was half a smoked kipper, some toast, a fried egg, and a piece of bacon rind. He pushed the lid over a little more, and when he'd finished, he left the kipper, as he decided that he would take that with him, and if he woke in the night, he would have a snack. There was a surprise. Someone had kindly left a crumpet. The Major loved these, and a slice of Victoria sponge, a lemon curd tart. The Major always wondered, why do people like these lemon curd tarts? The Major always wondered why they liked those. He had had one once, and it made his cheeks feel jolly funny. He stepped back too far, and the lid fell off with a loud clatter. He quickly grabbed the kipper. The kitchen light went on, and it made the Major jump. He dropped his kipper. A man came out with a broom. Who's there? He shouted. The Major watched him from the branches of the apple tree. Oh no, he spotted a cat heading towards his kipper. Oi, you down there. I say, cat. The cat looked up at the Major. That's my kipper, so if you would be so good as to leave it alone, young lady. The cat stuck her tongue out, smartly picked up the kipper and ran off. I'll get you next time, the man shouted at the cat. George, stop shouting, the neighbours. As the man walked inside his house, he heard the man say to his wife, it was that pesky cat again. The Major could not believe it. What a rude cat. He flew off to find somewhere to sleep. He found a wooden bus shelter near the beach. This will do. He walked under the bench and fell asleep. The Major was awake very early. There was no use leaving yet, as where he had to go was not open yet, and he then thought to himself, actually he would fly around the town to try to find the place. He flew around for ages. It was no use. He could not find the place he needed to go. I will ask a rat, they know where everything is, he thought. He kept his eyes peeled on all the shops, and then success, there was a rat. He was enormous. I bet he liked fish and chips too, the Major laughed to himself. His tummy rumbled. I must not think of food. I must get on with my mission. Excuse me, Rat. What? Who said that? I'm up here, young man. The herring gull sat on the baker's shop's gutter. The rat laid on its back and roared with laughter, kicking its legs. Oh, I'm up here, young man, repeated the rat, taking the mickey out of the Major's voice. Well, that's very rude. The rat laughed more. Oh, stop it, you're killing me here. The rat could not stop laughing. The Major flew down next to the rat. The rat tried to control himself. He turned over. He wiped his paws. He wiped his eyes with his paws. I'm sorry, it's just we don't get many toffs round here. Do you talk like that all the time? The Major wished he had picked another rat. Listen, my man, I do not have time for this tomfoolery, and I'm on a mission for the mighty oak. The mighty oak, you say, must be important. It is. Do you know where the nearest library is, please? What's mighty oak need a library for? I need some rats for my mission. Listen, the Major whispered in the rat's ear. When the Major had finished explaining, the rats stood back. Okay, got it. Here, I'm Wally. He raised his right paw up to the Major, and the Major in return held out his right wing. They shook wing and paw. Wally put his right paw up to his mouth and whistled really loudly, and then he called out, Come on, Sid, come on, Harry. Suddenly 2 equally large rats came scuttling along. What do you want, Wally? Listen, mates, I've got a job for you. How much do we get for this here job, then? Nothing, said Wally. This is a favour for Mighty Oak. Oh, right, that's different. What do we have to do, Wally? Wally told his boys what he needed them to do. Then the 4 of them made their way to the library. It did not actually open until 10 o'clock, so they had to lie low until it was open. The time seemed to drag by so slowly. Then at last a short-boarding gentleman with glasses opened the door to the library. He seemed to have a few keys hanging off his belt. As he opened the door, 2 elderly ladies walked in, and one man with a pile of books under his arms. He must have been returning the family's books. Right, said the Major, we will wait a minute and then let them settle. Then we will go in. A few more people go in the library. Right, next person will go. Quick, said Wally. She looks like she's heading for the library. Superb, said the Major. You boys have cover. I'll follow in at the rear. The rats ran under the lady's pram. Her little boy was walking beside her, holding on to the pram. The little boy let go of the pram and held the door open for his mother. As his mother walked by, the little boy heard whispering from under the pram. He looked down and he caught a rat's tail disappearing under the pram. What's that? He thought. Then behind his mother, a huge seagull walked past him and flew up to the ceiling. Robert, shut the door. Thank you, darling. Robert, now close your mouth. Mum, I just... Sit down, darling. I have to look for a particular book for your father. But, Mum, sit down and be quiet. Remember where we are. Yes, Mum, Robert said sulkily. He looked under his chair. Nothing. Where did that big seagull go? He looked up to the ceiling. He couldn't see it anywhere. Robert, I will not tell you again. Will you close your mouth? The rats were hiding in some bookshelves. The Major had found a good spot on top of the bookshelves. He could see all around the library. He was looking for a particular section of the library. Then he spotted it.